Hello everyone, Final Fantasy Exvius Tactics channel here. Today I'm going to talk about another unit that got his enhancements this week, that is Firion. This is a very old unit, part of the original batch of Brave Exvius back in May-June of 2016, and finally now we got his enhancements in Global. So, how powerful is Firion now with enhancements? Let's check it out. This is Firion. His base stats are as magic, Firion only has one magic, that is Regen. In the special abilities, we can see that Firion has a lot of passive abilities: HP plus 20%, attack plus 10%, defense plus 10%, and we can also see that he has a lot of killer abilities: plant killer, bug killer, dragon killer, demon killer, beast killer, bird killer. Also he has lance, blade bash, blade blitz, and drain blade. Drain blade is a skill that does 140% hybrid damage to one enemy, and also does 80% physical damage to the enemy with HP drained 30% of that damage. Mystery Waltz is a skill that does 35% physical damage to the enemy with 30% MP drain to that enemy. Also we have hybrid killer abilities that has more effects. First of all, we have Forest Killer. That is a passive skill that increases the damage of birds, insects, and plants in 75%. And also we have Legend Killer. That is another passive skill that increases the damage to beasts, demons, and dragons in 75%. Also, another good thing of Firion is that he has passive boost equipping every weapon in the game. We have Swordmaster. That is a passive that increases the attack and defense of Firion in 20% when you keep a dagger or a sword or a great sword or a katana. We have Heavy Breaker that increases the attack of Firion in 30% when you keep an axe, a hammer, a spear, or a knuckle. We have Multi-Shooter. That is another passive that increases the attack in 25% and the spirit in 30% when Firion equips a bow, a whip, a throwing weapon, and a gun. And we have Great Support. That is another passive that increases the magic and spirit of Firion in 30% when you equip a staff, a rod, a harp, or a mace. Finally, we have Fimbrear. That is the only great physical damage skill that Firion has, that does 180% damage with 25% ignore to one enemy. So normalized, we can say that Fimbrear does 270% damage to one enemy. Not so great, but that is what Firion has. Okay, so Firion's great thing about him is the killer abilities. So how those killers boost the damage on that races? Let's check it out. Okay, first of all, I want to show that my Firion is with full attack pots. Okay, and in the equipment you can see that Firion can equip everything except heavy shields, heavy armor, and robes. Aside of that, he can equip everything. So, I use in my Firion Durandal, Second Knife, Black Bandana, Black Belgi, 2 Roller Rings, Attack plus 30%, Great Sword Mastery, Swelling Power, and Attack plus 15%. That is only F2P equipped or 3 things that you can get in the game, no CMs. And with that, you can get Firion with 5000 HP and 611 attack. Pretty nice for free equipment. Okay, we have the White Dragon. There is a dragon side monster, so it applies the Legend Killer, the Dragon Killer innate, and the Dragon Killer of Odin Esper. So now I have 175% more damage to dragons. Okay, let's try first finger snap to see how much damage I do. Oh boy. Okay, now let's try something more strong. Let's throw Fimbriar to the white dragon. Oh wow, okay. Okay, now the Demon Chimera. I'm still with Odin. Even with only the innate Legend Killer and Beast Killer, the damage is insane. Let's see Fimbriar. Well, okay, now I add some extra killer effects to my Firion. I changed the Esper to Ifrit for the extra Beast Killer, and also Demon Horn, that is an accessory that gives attack plus 10% and also Beast Killer effect. So now with that I have 275% more damage to demons, to beast, sorry. So let's try Fimbriar. Okay, now I will use some TMs on Firion. First of all, I return to Odin as my Esper. Also, I give Firion Dragon's Roar that has Dragon Killer, Excalibur, Black Cowl, Brave Suit, Ifrit's Claw, Bracer, Sildra's Protection that increases the damage to dragons and aqua monsters, Dragon Killer, Large Sword Mastery, and Dual Wield. With that, I have now 695 attack, and also I have 325% more damage to dragons. So, let's find out how much damage I do. Let's throw Fimbriar. Okay, that's nice. One of the conclusions we can get on Firion is that he has great passive skills. He has killer abilities for 5 races and also has great passive skills that increase their stats, equipping almost every weapon in the game. But another thing we can get on Firion is that he doesn't have very good attacking skills. Fimbriar is not a good skill because his modifier is kinda low. So that's the big drawback on Firion. And luckily that is solved with his enhancements. Let's check it out. Okay, Firion can enhance 3 abilities: Lance, Legend Killer, and Fimbriar. First of all, I'm going to talk about Lance. Lance, in his normal state, is a skill that does 80% damage and drains 20% HP to the enemy, and also does 30% damage to the enemy and drains 10% of that damage to one enemy. It's a basic skill, but Lance Enhance plus 2 does 100% damage with 30% HP drained to one enemy of that damage, and does 50% damage with 20% MP drain to one enemy. The good thing about this is that Lance plus 2 only asks you for one level 3 Christ and is extremely cheap. Now let's talk about Legend Killer and Fimbriar. First of all, I want to thank my friend Warm Lettuce from my gaming community that lets me use his Firion. I'm going to show you that my Firion unenhanced has 814 attack, and my friend's Firion also has 414 attack. The equipment is the same, well, almost the same, but there's nothing more additional on the damage modifier. It's the same equipment, doesn't have more killers or something like that. Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about Legend Killer. No, that one. The ability Legend Killer. Legend Killer normal is a passive that does 75% more damage to beasts, dragons, and demons. Now, if you enhance Legend Killer to +2, now Legend Killer +2 do 100% more damage to beasts, demons, and dragons, and also adds humans and undeads to the list of races of Legend Killer. So with Legend Killer +2, you do 100% more damage to 5 races. Okay, let's try Blade Bash on my Firion and in haste. Let's see how much damage I can do to this one. Okay, 160k. Okay, to the last enemy I do 160k. Let's try that one with Legend Killer and haste. It's not the same enemy, but the damage should be in the same proportion that the last enemy. Almost 1k more, 100k more damage than the first one. Let's try now with this one, that is the same enemy than last time. Okay, one last time. The difference is notably. So Legend Killer is a good skill to upgrade. Okay, now I'm going to talk about Fimbrear. Fimbrear is the damage skill of Firion, his best skill. Fimbrear, as you know, does 180% damage with 25% defense ignore of the enemy, so that normalized should do 270% damage to the enemy. Now, if you enhance Fimbrear to +2, when you get Fimbrear +2, now the skill does 230% damage with 50% defense ignore to the enemy. So normalized, that should do 460% damage to the enemy. That almost double the damage of the normal Fimbrear. So Fimbrear +2 almost doubles the damage of the enemy. So the Poison Eagle is a bird type enemy, so it shouldn't affect the Legend Killer effect. Let's try the Fimbrear unencased to see how much damage I do. Okay, almost 60k, 600k. Now let's try Fimbrear Enhaced. Almost 1 million damage. That's almost 400k difference from the first, the Enhaced Fimbrear. Let's see again. Yep, is almost between 1,900,000, 1.1 million. In conclusion, I can say that Fimbrear and Legend Killer are must-have enhancements to apply on Firion. Both of them increase Firion's damage considerably, and well, Lance is a very cheap enhancement. It doesn't require a giant Christ or pure Christ. It only asks you for level 3 stones and only one, so I won't enhance lands, but it's almost so cheap that if you want to enhance it, you should do it, but I don't think it's worth. Fimbreer and Legend Killer in the other side are must-have enhancements for Firion. With both of those enhancements, and when you face one of the 5 races of the Legend Killer +2, you will do a lot of damage. In the pros and cons of Firion we have, in the pros, killer abilities. Firion on Haze has killer abilities to 6 races, and with enhancement it adds 2 more races, so that means with Firion and Haze you can do great damage to 8 races in the game. Good passive skills. Firion has a boost to his stats to equipping almost every weapon in the game. Some of them are very useful, some others are not useful at all, but you can enhance the stats of Firion equipping every weapon in the game. Can equip almost every kind of equipment in the game. Only 3 things you can equip on Firion, that is heavy shields, heavy armor, and robes, and those equipments are not relevant on Firion. You probably won't equip a heavy shield or a heavy armor on Firion. You will equip another type of stuff. So Firion can equip everything, and you can build him with almost all the weapons you have. In the cons we have not very useful to other races. There is some extreme cases that Firion doesn't have killer abilities at all. I can say stone monsters, fairies, aquan monsters, and in that cases all the killer abilities of Firion are useless and his attack power will be very low. Only one offensive skill. Fimbreer is the only attack skill that Firion has, and without enhancements is very useless and weak. You have to enhance Fimbreer to do very good damage to the enemy. But also, we miss that Firion doesn't have another great abilities. You have only Fimbreer as your options to do good damage to the enemy. Firion Enhance is a great unit because it's a base 3-star unit and his enhancements are not that expensive like other units like Elsa or Ace or even the Mercedes. So his enhancements are nice and are cheap, that is important. So if you have a Firion and don't have other great base 5-star units, you should spend some time, pots and Chris on Firion and enhance him because it will be useful to your party for future trials. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Goodbye.